Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well. What do we have here? A failure to communicate with the American people. It's funny how politicians love to scream American people and the American people, the American people. We're doing what the American people want, and we're doing what's in the best interest of the American people because the American people want this, and the American people want this, and we're doing what the American people want. Well, the American people want those Epstein files released. So, why aren't they being released when you have the power to release them? Donald Trump, you're president. Yeah. The DOJ says they're done releasing files, fam. They're done releasing those Epstein files. They're not releasing any more Epstein files, despite the fact that they've only released 3 million and there are 6 million. Why would they do that? Why on earth would they do something like that? I want you to take a look at a picture right quick. The woman on the screen is a victim, Annie Farmer. She participated in a rally to support victims of Jeffrey Epstein outside the U.S. Capitol in September 2025. Here's the story. Per NPR, the Justice Department says their review into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is done, with the release of millions of documents and thousands of images and videos last Friday. Annie Farmer is one of many people who testified in court about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She says they sexually abused her when she was 16 years old. She's also been a leading voice in calling on the DOJ to release all records related to Epstein. The release included pictures of nude women or possibly girls and the names of victims, all of which should have been redacted. A DOJ spokesperson subsequently told the New York Times the department was addressing victim concerns and making additional redactions. Farmer tells NPR she's really upset, saying the release of the victims' names and images is really disgusting. However, she adds that what I do feel clear about is the fact we still believe transparency is important. And we ain't got to go no further than that, fam. We can just talk amongst ourselves from here because we already know everything else is just pretty much dog and pony mumbo jumbo. You dig? How can they do that, though? How can they just say, hey, man, we've been ordered by Congress to release those photos. We've been ordered by a judge to release the photos, but we're going to release them, but we're not going to release all of them. We're only going to release what we feel like releasing. And we feel like we've done enough, and that's it. What I want to know is, what about the victims? We're always talking about how we need justice for the victims. And we're so close to justice. I mean, we got all the evidence right there. Everything that we need is right there to get justice for the victims. Yet, information is being withheld. Information is being omitted. Information is being concealed, hidden. Yeah. How can we trust the DOJ? Now, this is what I'm going to find interesting. The DOJ's job is to go and get justice for the American people. If you got evidence, you use that evidence. If you have suspects, you expose suspects. You don't conceal their identity. You don't conceal the identity of suspects, perpetrators, predators, and expose or reveal the identity of victims. But that's exactly what they did. They redacted the criminals, the suspects, the predators. They redacted their names and faces, and they exposed the victims' names and faces. They had it totally backwards. They're supposed to redact the victims' names and faces and expose the perpetrators, the predators, the suspects. Now, here's the thing. The DOJ initially said that Trump was never accused of anything. Well, the lie detector determined that was a lie. Donald Trump's name was exposed in the DOJ investigation prior to the Epstein files being released years ago. And they said that he had not been, his name had not been mentioned as a person who had done anything wrong. But that turned out to be a lie. Fam, where do we go from here? Like, what's going on? Where do we go from here? These two here, these two, Trump and Bondi. Boy, they are the Bonnie and Clyde of Congress. They are the Bonnie and Clyde of Congress. The only difference is there's nobody in law enforcement tracking their movements and trying to put the cuffs on them. And they don't need guns. They can rob you without a gun. They don't need guns. And they're not running. They're not on the run. It is absolutely amazing that they can do this. And they're not supposed to be able to do it, but when you have members of Congress who are cowards, spineless cowards, who are supposed to be our safeguards as American people, they're supposed to be our safeguards. They're supposed to be the ones who safeguard the Constitution to make sure that nobody is above the law. But they're so spineless. They're so afraid. They're stuck on stupid and doing nothing. These two. Man. I'm not buying this, fam. I'm not cool with this at all. I'll say justice for the victims, man. Justice for the victims. Just like they're going to go out there and find some victims victims in other situations. They're going to find victims for other situations, for other incidents, for other criminal activity. They're going to find victims and they're going to get on the screen and say, and we're fighting for the victims. And well, what about these victims? I guess it don't matter if you're a victim of someone who's in the Trump administration or you, Donald Trump himself, and you victimize somebody, then, hey, man, they just get what they get. But everybody else got to be held accountable. But if it's Trump or somebody in his administration, they get a pass because they're actually pulling all the strings. This is sad, fam. This is absolutely, and it is disgusting. It's disgusting. This is cold-blooded, man. They think that by them announcing that the DOJ has moved on, that the people are automatically going to move on. But I do not believe that to be the case. I don't think that the people are just simply going to move on. I don't think that to be the case. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's not up to them. It's just not up to them, period. It's not up to them to just move on. Congress got some say in that. Impeaching Pam Bondi is not going to solve the problem. Pam Bondi takes her orders from Donald Trump. Everything she does is at the behest of Donald Trump. So if you're not going to replace Donald Trump, if you're not going to remove Donald Trump, then it would be very similar to a pilot flying a plane that's pre-programmed for where it's going. And you replace that pilot with another pilot. The destination is already pre-programmed. So it don't matter who's controlling, who's at the controls, who has the wheel, who's at the wheel. The plane is going to go to the same destination. So it does not matter who you put in that position. They are going to do the same thing that Pam Bondi is doing. So that's why I don't know why people getting so excited, like get rid of her, get rid of her, get rid of her. You gotta only get somebody else that's gonna go in and do the exact same thing that she's doing. It's just gonna be different personalities. That's the only thing you're gonna get. You're gonna get a different personality. And I know some of y'all don't like this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'll take my chances. It's just like presidents. It does not really matter who's in office. You're gonna get a different personality. Now, having said that, I just don't want this one. This one got to go, man. This one got to go. Just go, go, go. But they're all operating under an agenda. Democrat or Republican. America has an agenda. Why do you think that there has been no president over the last several decades who has gone against Israel? They all got to get on board. They don't get to have a personal opinion about Israel, at least not publicly. They all got to all the time ride with Israel. It's mandated. Can't do nothing about it. Yeah. So you're going to get different personalities, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the same result. All of this stuff is just a bunch of trickery. It's all trickery. It's all smoke and mirrors. Some people are just a little bit more forward with what they want to say and how they operate. Others are more covert. They want to be, they want to come off as classier and, a little bit more dignified, but they're all following the same script. And they got to run the same play. America has a playbook, and you got to play by that book. You got to run the plays in that book. If you don't run the plays in that book, you're going to get your head knocked off. And that's how it goes. You see France and Germany, they said, no, we're not having it. They going after people. They bringing people down that's on that Epstein list. China has started executing people who violate children. It doesn't matter if you kill them or not. They're going to kill you. If you are convicted in China of harming little girls, little boys, if you're convicted of SAN children in China, you are not eligible for the death penalty, and they will kill you. Because they are serious. America is not serious about protecting victims of sexual assault. If they were, you wouldn't have about 1 in 3 U.S. Citizens. You wouldn't have about 1 in 3 U.S. citizens, I'm going to say women, who have been victims of sexual assault. This country has never been serious about protecting victims of sexual assault. They've never been serious about protecting women, protecting girls, and they damn sure has never been serious about protecting boys. So whatever type of protection a girl may not have gotten is going to be 1,000 times worse for boys, just because of how society view boys being violated. It's 1,000 times worse, fam. 1,000 times worse. This is the game, and this is the country that we live in. You got a sitting president You got a sitting president who is in the files of a predator over, what did they say, 30,000 times or something crazy, some crazy number. But he's in that file thousands of times and being accused of inappropriate relations with little girls, underage girls, not underage 16, 15, 14. We're talking 10, 8, 9. Yeah, little girls. And nothing is being done about it. Nothing. In fact, they said, we're going to close the case. We're done with this. We're moving on. We're not releasing any other files. Yeah, take it how you want it. That's where they are with it. But what I want to know is, where are you with it, fam? Some quick shout outs and I'm going to shut it down. What's up, Sean Lunatic? What's happening? Said Taylor. What's up, Taylor Nubia? Danielle. Antoinette B1s. What's up? What it do, what it do, what it do? Alexander Overton. Tony Caesar. What's up, Sid? What it do, what it do? Rob, Connie. What's up, Connie Upson? Yeah. So fam, when they jump out here and they start talking all this talk about protecting the American people, and they start talking about how hard they are on criminals, and Trump love to talk that criminal talk, like how he gonna stop criminals and lock criminals up, and he the biggest criminal in the whole damn country. When y'all, next time y'all hear him talking like that, man, just flip the damn channel, man, because he ain't doing nothing but telling lies. Lie after lie after lie after lie. And the trip part about it is, he don't even care if you believe it or not. I think it's just something that he just got to say. He know he lying. It's like, but I just got to say it. It's like, what they got that thing called thee and me. Thee or everybody else. Thee is everybody else. Y'all operate one way, but me, I get to do things like I want to do it. I'm different from y'all. I'm on a different level. That's how that go. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.